Hello, everyone. Welcome to Calling Out with Susan Pinsky. I'm Susan Pinsky, and we're in the world of psychics and clairvoyance and psychic phenomenon, as it said in the heading. We're going to be having a assassin hoax conspiracy show today. Hopefully, Colby will have some insights. Her name is Psychic Rebel Colby. She'll find the truth behind the President Trump assassination attempt, or throw in her 2 cents for it, or whatever she sees psychically. We're many doubting the story that we've been told, and would would such a giant hoax ever be possible? This psychic investigator, Colby Rebel, will read a guest and give us her insight into whatever questions he has, Mr. Zach Vorhies. And we also will be taking some viewers and fans of the show and give them psychic readings so that they can get answers to their questions. And as everybody knows, Colby Rebel is an award-winning celebrity psychic. I want a wide shot on us so you can see her. Oh, there she is. And she's a psychic medium, speaker, business coach, founder of Colby Rebel Spirit Center, and author of multiple best-selling books. Her center is in Westwood. You can go visit her and get private readings or learn how to be psychic. Also, she hosts the acclaimed Psychic Rebel Colby Show podcast and was awarded the best psychic of Los Angeles in 2022. She probably, and more since then. She was featured on Travel Channel's True Terror, MTV's Teen Mom. I remember that because we were on it together. And also by the US Weekly, ABC, CBS, and Fox. So she's been around the block. Follow her at Instagram.com, Colby Rebel Medium, and schedule a psychic reading at ColbyRebel.com. So thank you for coming, Colby. Once again, I love seeing you.
I know. It's always so much fun.
She drives down from Big Bear for me.
Yes.
It's about an hour and a half drive.
Yeah, hour and a half, 2 hours.
But it's on a swervy road, and you have to go down the hill and be very careful and slow. And she's made it back and forth a few times. Plus, I think you guys are having some huge fires.
Yeah, there's only one way down the mountain right now, and that is the 18. So it took us a little bit longer to get here today. They're evacuating in Big Bear Lake at certain things, and the fires are just devastating.
So is it coming over the hill yet, or is it still in Running Springs side?
It's in Running Springs. It did jump the 330, so it's about 4 miles from where we live. So, but they're holding it. It seems like they are.
So you're going to be spending the night tonight.
Yes, yeah, okay. For sure.
You're welcome to. Yeah. So Colby is also. She's a spiritual teacher, so she can help you learn how to be empathic and learn how to use your intuition to speak to your loved ones in the past, or just use your intuition for your psychic abilities. And, you know, a lot of psychics have different abilities. Colby's pretty much she's a mixed bag of goods. She's got clairvoyance, she's psychic, she's intuitive. You can't keep a secret from her. She knows everything. So she knows where you live. So, yeah. And it's really interesting how she does it. I've always been intrigued by it. But so today I have this guy that is an Ask Dr. Drew guest that I've had on the show. And he, I'm not going to give you his bio up first because I like to not let the psychic medium know anything about the guest, so she can just use her intuition to tap into the spirit that is coming forward and giving her information about our guest. And all I know is he is a character. He is super smart, and I love the way he thinks. So that's why I thought he would be great on the show. So I want to welcome Zach. Welcome to the show. I think you're out there in Zoom somewhere. And look at his backdrop. All I know is he's a futurist. So that's my clue. And that's politically, right? So I'm not going to let Colby hear anything from you. If she gives you information, you can say yes or no. Don't give too much information, and then she'll see if she's tapping into you.
Good.
There you go. How you doing, Zach?
I'm good. How about yourself, Colby?
I'm doing okay. Not too bad. You from the East Coast?
No, I'm from the West Coast, Northwest.
Ah, you got a little bit of an East Coast sound to you. That's all.
Ah,
that was because of your voice.
Yeah.
I was going to say the same thing. He's got a little Jersey twang.
Yeah,
but
he's got a little New York, more New York than Jersey. But
okay.
yeah.
All right.
I guess not.
Keep
That's okay.
going. You
Okay, so Zach, have you ever had a reading before, or is this your first time?
first time.
Oh, good. All right. Well, you're in for a treat. A couple things that I get around you is a couple of feelings that I get is that, it's interesting. Like, I feel like you can, you're really, you like a deep dive, I think, in what you do. So I feel like career-wise, it's all about like a deep dive. And I keep feeling like you can ruffle feathers. Like, maybe not everyone loves what you do or something like that. Do you know what I mean? And so I feel like for you, you have to remain strong in your faith or your conviction, because either you have like naysayers or I almost, not that you have to watch for your safety, but I almost just feel like if I were like, you're not a people pleaser. I guess that's what I would say. So I don't know if you do writing, or you write journalist, what's the word? Report. I don't know. There's just something here where I feel like you're not afraid to kind of cross the line or something. Does that resonate? Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I get around, what's really interesting though, is you're very, very detail oriented. So I'm not really getting like you're saying things for shock value. Like, I feel like you are unearthing like the facts, or you're very, you take it very seriously, I think, what you do, so it's not like, oh, I'm just going to do this because I want to create shock value. Like, I feel like you either do a lot of research, or you also, I feel like, either know people that give you the truth or the inside scoop of things. It's almost like you're a TMZ of like harder topics.
Harder topics, yes.
You know what I mean? And so with that, I feel like I see a lot of expansion around this. I actually, I don't know if you have a TV show yet, but I almost feel like there's going to be a TV show around what you do or the topics that you talk about. So do you currently host a TV show, or have you been working on that at all by chance?
I appear on a lot of podcasts, and that's about the extent of my TV and media appearances.
Got it. Okay. It makes, I see either you having your own podcast or you having a TV show or something along these lines where it gets massive exposure. But like, I also, it's very interesting because I feel like you have to be careful of getting threats, and I'm not trying to scare you or anything like that, but I almost feel like you, depending on like whose toes you're stepping on, I almost feel like, oh, be careful. Yeah, there's definitely like a little bit of danger.
Yeah.
Do you get threats at all with what you do? Can I ask, Zach?
I used to, but not anymore.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it. Yeah, I wouldn't be, again, I don't want to scare you, but just kind of, I don't think it is going to scare you. I really don't. I don't think you're stopping for anyone. But I see you, really kind of talking about this. I see you writing a book as well. So I feel like there's going to be a book that is coming out, maybe about some stories or things that you've discovered, your insight, that sort of thing. So I feel like there's that. What's also interesting? I actually feel like if you haven't done this yet, I keep seeing you at like a college teaching, like not as a full professor, but maybe going in and as a guest, kind of talking or speaking, that sort of thing in front of a classroom. Have you done that at all yet in the past?
Not since the big event, but I have before, yes.
Okay, got it. Okay. So to me, I just see this interesting thing where I feel like either, yeah, again, it's almost a combination. I don't know if it's like religion that you're, I don't want to keep saying stepping on the toes, but I think it's maybe the best way to say it, religion or politics or like, you're kind of definitely with these high powered people that I feel like don't like what you're doing. I would love to say you're more supportive, but I feel like you have your own group of fans or your own following. But I think when it comes to bigwigs, I don't know, they're not feeling very
The bigwigs don't like him.
I don't think so. I don't get that feeling. I feel like he, but I also feel like he doesn't get intimidated easily. So he's like, yeah, whatever. On a side note, I feel like you are very healthy. So I feel like you really take care of yourself. I feel like you eat well. I feel like you've got a ton of self-discipline. So I don't know if I can feel like when you're working, you're just working, like you're in the zone. And so I'm not sure. I'm just kind of curious. Are you an early riser, can I ask, Zach? Would that make sense? I keep seeing diligent with your work.
I would like to wake up a lot earlier than I do, but I typically slow to get up in the morning.
He said good morning to me at 11:30 today. I don't, yeah.
But I feel like when you work, though, you're working a long day, or it's kind of concentrated, very intense. Would that resonate then?
Yeah, 12 to 14 hours, sure.
Yeah, it just feels like a lot of what you do. Do you happen to have a dog, Zach?
I don't. No.
Okay.
In spirit, maybe
I was
it's my
just going
dog.
to kind of say, is there a dog on the other side for you? Can I ask, Zach? Would we happen to have a dog that? No, you don't.
Maybe it's my dog.
Oh, that's okay. No dog on the other side for you, Zach.
Dog, so.
No, there's no dog here. No.
On the other, in spirit, dead.
Oh, I mean, I had a family dog when I was young, and I loved it very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You mean the other side, on the other side of life?
That's right. The spirit life. Oh, yeah. So I felt like there was a dog on the other. Okay, got it. So that's good. Okay. Well, he says hi, just so you know. so
the dog flew in from outer space and is here.
No, it's not outer space, but the couple things coming in for you.
Where is it? It's in his mind, his spiritual mind. It's his afterlife. So, anyways, go ahead. She's giving me a look. Okay, keep going.
I just feel like I'm giving you the Kaleb look. You want to engineer the show. Now you want to be the psychic.
Yeah, shut up. Just keep going. Yeah, I know.
Zach, I just feel like coming in for you is a really big. There's something coming in the next couple months where I feel like it's going to be this other big topic you're talking about, or a big reveal, that sort of thing. So I feel like either you've been working on something and you're going to release it and going to showcase it and going to talk about it. I think it definitely is going to connect to more show appearances. And this feels like between November and January that I feel like this is coming out for you. And again, it just feels like you're literally going to get to that level where you're kind of here now, which is really good. But I really feel like you're going to end up like a host of a show, like an informative show. That's kind of what I see. And I think it's going to be something really, really interesting. And you're not going to be afraid to be controversial. Like in an idea, I don't watch TV, but you have to forgive me. Is it Jon Stewart? Isn't that guy kind of controversial? Yeah. Did I get that right?
Late night host.
So it's something like that where you're going to be this host and it's going to be like really raw topics that not everyone is comfortable bringing up, but I feel like you're going to bring them up. You're going to talk about them. And I feel like it's going to do really well. So that's what I have for you.
Nice. Zach. That sounds fun. What do you think?
So kind of hits with good points. Some of it was missed. Should I do the reveal, like who I am and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's see if you can. What did you resonate with, and what was just sort of okay?
Okay, so
Easier.
I do have a lot of big projects coming up. One of them is actually public right now, but I can't talk about it because they won't let me, reveal that I'm directing that thing. So, but yeah, it's out now. It's going to be big, really big. And you got the book, right? There you go. So I am an author, yes. And the reason why I am a tad famous is because in 2019, I blew the whistle on Google, where I was a senior software engineer. Some of the things that I think were a little bit missed is that even though I do a lot of appearances, I actually prefer to code more than people for whatever reason. And it's kind of an obsession of mine. It's going to be my impact into the world. I tried to be a podcaster myself, but just couldn't bring myself to do it. I always just ended up coding anyways. So that's what I am. I'm a software engineer at heart. And I found myself in the middle of this huge firestorm in 2019 as Google was going to rig the election against Donald Trump, which they were very successful at, and I was unable to stop them. But that did not stop me from making a huge splash with the public with my disclosures, which was that there was malfeasant artificial intelligence that was rigging the information landscape and censoring what you were allowed to see. Essentially, it was an AI weapon pointed directly at the minds of every single American, including you and me. And they would have gotten away with it if I hadn't gathered 950 pages detailing how this system worked and delivered it to the public, first in June of 2019, and then again with a full disclosure in August of 2019 after getting raided by the FBI, Sheriff's Department, Bomb Squad, and SFPD. So that's my story in a nutshell.
Wow. So that's the people that don't like him.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see there's definitely some people that don't like him. Yeah.
No, but I mean, he did it for the better good. He's a good person. It's like being hated or not liked by certain people because you're bad is one thing, but doing something that's right is another thing.
But it feels like it was dangerous, though, right? Were there a lot of threats around it, Zach?
Oh, yeah. Like, there was Google that was watching my Twitter and, and I said that they were harassing me online first and detonating me and telling me that I was the leaker. And then when things got too hot and heavy, I went to Twitter and said, in the event of my unfortunate death, all documents will become public. They thought that was a threat against them, so they called a wellness check. And then that escalated into snipers on the roof and bomb squad being called out and a bunch of other nonsense, which wasn't necessary at all. I was actually fearful of my life for what they were going to do to me, not what I was going to do to them.
Oh, it's awesome. I love that about you. So, so let's talk more about like rigged elections and stuff like that. Colby predicts, like she thinks she has predictions for who's going to be president. But if the elections are rigged, how is that going to happen? That's my question. What's going to happen in this next election? How are we going to see, the right person win? You have any insight into that? I don't know, either one of you.
I thought you were asking Zach. Yeah, I thought she was asking you, Zach, because I already made my prediction.
Here's my answer. Okay, I think that they are going to do the election rigging. The cartels, for whatever reason, allowed us to see this on Twitter and then gaslit us so that we would lose faith in, the system. And now everyone's been sort of like primed for this election stealing. And so I think that this next time it's going to be really obvious that they're going to at least attempt. Now, the question that I have is, are they going to be successful? Are we going to be allowed to see it, which we are? And is it going to be enough for them to tip the scales and make sure that Kamala has another 4 and perhaps 8 years as president of the United States?
I don't know. What do you think, Colby?
I don't know. I mean, I felt like Trump was going to be president, but that's just what I was getting.
Okay.
So for whatever reason, I feel like it's him that's going to take it, but we will see.
Yeah, unless somebody tries to take his life. So, Yeah, which we also almost witnessed. And we have a question about like how there's a controversy going around that he really wasn't shot and it was all fake. And he bit into some kind of a capsule and pretended like his ear was bleeding. Is that something that we should actually look at, Colby?
Oh, well, I mean, look, I definitely feel like there was a lot of publicity around it. So I think that for whatever it's worth, definitely what made it more exaggerated than I think it was supposed to be. So there definitely feels to be like some PR moves behind it for sure. So I don't know. It's hard to think that this, kid would get so close and then graze his ear. But, that's kind of my take on it.
So if that were the case,
here's a question.
Go ahead.
Here's a question. Did Trump get his ear shot off, or was that a magic trick?
I don't think his ear got shut off. No.
No, it got grazed. From what we heard from the doctors.
Yeah.
But now, if it was not supposed to kill him and it was set up, is there anybody behind it that you've ever thought might be behind hiring this guy to do this shooting?
Was it the CIA? Was it the FBI?
Yeah, there's sort of rumors that maybe it was, an agency, a higher agency that was behind it.
I would not be surprised, though. I mean, there definitely feels to be a lot of secrecy behind it, and there definitely feels to be a lot of kind of cover-up behind it, for sure.
So this is not something that Colby has looked into or thought about?
No.
So she's looking into it right now for the first time.
Yeah, but it just makes me feel like, definitely makes me feel like it's a setup, and it makes me feel like there's definitely, some government behind it. Yeah, I'm just looking to see, were they trying to kill him though, or were they just trying to kind of create hysteria around it?
So do you see American people behind it or a foreign country?
To me, it feels American, but I want to hear what Zach says. I want to hear what Zach's got. I want to hear what he thinks.
Look, that's at least a 223 round that was fired. There's a lot of cartilage in the air. So when that bullet makes impact, it tends to get distributed a lot rather than let's say fat that just sort of like falls apart. There's cartilage. And, when a bullet hits, it should rip the ear apart, even if it doesn't hit it. The shock wave is big enough where bad things are going to happen. Trump was supposedly shot with a 223 round, right? It, barely grazed his ear. We got one little picture of his ear bleeding, and then he's been shown his ear off since, and there doesn't seem to be any damage. So my question is, why is that, right? Like, don't you think that, if you were to get shot in the ear, your ear would be out of commission for a pretty long time. And the guy's like almost at this point. I don't think that he would heal quite that quickly.
Yeah,
question.
He had a Band-Aid on it, and then bandage on it for a while, and then they showed a picture of him at something, and it looked like his ear was perfectly fine. And so, but could that be photoshopped is the question. Everybody puts a little filter on here and there. He needs a filter. So
think about this. At this possibility. Just throwing this out there. What Zach is saying makes a lot of sense. If a bullet that size is even going that close to your ear, the shockwaves are going to mess with your ear way more than it was with Trump. But think about this possibility where everyone is telling the truth, but also not the whole truth, because telling the whole truth would cause a lot more issues than is worth it. Think of it this way. What if it wasn't the bullet that hit him, but it smashed through one of the teleprompters or smashed through something glass. The glass hit him. But explaining that story to the public, now then everyone will be able to say, oh, Trump and his team, they're all a bunch of liars. He was never hit by the bullet. We were all right the whole time. He made it all up. When it's like, well, the result was the same. When you're in that position, you think, I was hit by a bullet that was going by me. You don't think it might have been a piece of glass or a piece of wood that just, bounced and then hit me through the ear. There was an injury that happened. But that's the explanation that I could find behind why his whole ear wasn't gone and why he was able to wear a bandage. Because, I'm trying to find a size comparison photo of that bullet. That's a huge round. Like, that's not something that's just going to whiz by that close and just take out a tiny snippet of your ear.
That's the miracle of it. Is that how did he live through that?
Yeah.
Right?
But Zach, what do you think about that possibility of there might be more to the story, but telling the whole story at this point in time might not actually help anybody? So that might be, I try and think of it in that way of like, well, what could they not be telling us? But they might have a reason for not telling us, because the harm caused by telling the full truth doesn't really change anything anyway and just gives ammunition to their enemies. Would that make any sense at all?
Right. That's plausible. I don't know why they would not tell the audience and the public viewer that, he got hit with a piece of glass or wood shrapnel. But there's bigger questions that I have, which is, if this was real, why would the deep state leave it all up to some psycho kid, that was, engaging in the most obvious shooting position ever, where he was essentially allowed to be found by the police, the audience.
He just pranced up there and nobody did anything about it.
Right,
He was just up there.
Right now, and here's the second thing, right? Like, the United States runs the military-industrial complex of the world. We have all kinds of really crazy futuristic weapons. I can imagine, with all the stuff I've seen with artificial intelligence, that, they could have an auto-targeting sniper rifle that, re-aims every 1 millisecond and takes into position the wind and the distance. And, despite the fact that Trump did move his head, to an artificial intelligence that's taking 1,000 frames a second, it's almost going to look like that dude's, suspended in air, right? That whole thing of moving at the last second isn't going to miss on an auto-targeting sniper rifle. And so the question is why wouldn't the deep state just use, I don't know, one of those, some mechanically operated, rifle? And second, why would they only have one kid? Now, there's been rumored, of course, that there was multiple, snipers. But if that were the case, these are going to be professional military marksmen. And the chances that they're going to miss, maybe, plan B and plan C, I don't think they're going to miss. I think they're going to hit him. And then another thing is that if you're going to go to all the trouble of assassinating, a president of the United States, wouldn't you have some sort of head tracking explosive device on a drone so that if everyone did miss, you're going to have the thing to take him out? Because not to take him out means that a whole bunch of conspiracies are allowed to flourish. And so this whole thing that the deep state tried to get Trump but missed, and they didn't have any backup plan to take him out, that seems really weird. Never, there's the ear.
What do you
that
think, Colby?
Yeah, let's hear your thoughts.
Colby's shaking her hand.
No, I agree. If they were, they're going to make sure he's dead. It would have been really easy. It was super easy environment. They're not going to mess it up. They're not going to mess it up.
Not just a warning, just like an FU warning from somebody on the other side.
No, they would have. They just would have. No. With the level of equipment and everything. Yeah.
It was either a warning shot to him, which didn't stop him. It just brought his poll numbers up, or it was.
I think it could have. Right. Yeah. Right.
Or it was real.
It was meant.
Or it was. I think so. Sorry, Colby. I don't mean to interrupt you. You want to finish?
Yeah. That's okay, Caleb.
No, so this was another thing. Sorry for the producer jumping in again, but thinking about
you to do that.
but how, because I've been thinking about this a lot, and one of the points, Zach, that you made, which is really good, which is that basically how does this one dude get through all of Secret Service, police, and all the security for one of the most prominent people on the planet? This is a weird example, but my wife and I, we play Fortnite together on squads, right? My wife has been gaming probably 10 years less than I have. she survives much longer than I do because her playing style is so bizarre and different that no one knows how to defend from her. Like, she'll just sit right at the edge of the storm, or she'll build a fortress, or she'll do something which everyone typically thinks that's not the way that you play the game. That's not correct. So no one's watching for her when she's coming in, and she wins a lot of times just randomly with this weird strategy. Now think about it with this one guy here. He's not playing it according to the strategy that they're looking for anti-terrorism. He's not going online and he's not sharing memes that he's going to go kill a president. He's not going on. He doesn't have friends that he's telling this stuff to. So it's like it's the easiest. It's actually the hardest person for them to catch because there's no real trail. They're saying he wasn't really online. He was in encrypted messaging apps, but he didn't have an online presence that was very big. So I think a lot of times, humans, what we try to do is we try to find a rational explanation for stuff like this. And sometimes this was just one random guy. Do you think it's possible that this was just one random guy who just went out and just did this and they couldn't catch him because he's not leaving a trail?
I mean, they did catch him. They caught him before he was about to do it, right? He was in the sniper's sights, and they were given a stand down order, right? So what that says to me is that, the Secret Service are in on it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And, yeah.
And why is he so whitewashed? His whole past is whitewashed. It's gone. There is nobody's like that at the age of 20 doesn't have any history. It just, unless they started planning to shoot the president when they were 6 years old.
Right. Like if they've got that much, hatred, there is psychological leaking that happens, right? Like I go online, make a comment here or whatever.
Right.
How do you hide that? Like who's able to hold that flame of anger so much and is able to evade leaking that out on all of these social media presences that they visit?
Somebody had the power to clean up his socials, or they picked him because he didn't have many and they could clean up his socials, and then they hired him. I think that's what I think. And then he was in that
BlackRock commercial. That's probably the craziest part of it, is him being in the BlackRock commercial.
I don't know, Colby. Do you have any? Just my interpretation. I'm just a lay person. I don't have any psychic abilities.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the kid, he's unsuspecting, right? Like he looked harmless, so I think that's why he was able to get through. Nobody looks like he looks like kind of a geeky kid, right? So I think he was very unsuspecting and I think that's why he was able to get through.
It's true, but
it's weird because my age group, that's who we're most suspicious of are white guys that look like him. Like that's the type of guy that's doing this. So I see one of those guys walk in. One. No, not quite. I have a better.
No, you're not that geeky. No, but
I have children.
But when it first happened, I was just like, how do you not have a trail? And secondly, like, where's the money going? Like, find out if he has a bank account, if he has a Swiss bank account or something, because it's got to be going somewhere. And then they hid the body, and then they didn't go in and raid his house and all that. So that also makes you think it's nefarious through the government because they're not doing their job or really going into the suspect and trying to find out who it is. It was all covered up too. So we had a psychic on a couple weeks ago who said that he thought it was definitely a higher up person who was involved. And Dr. Kelly Victory too, she has some, if you watch previous show, you'll see she predicts that, it was definitely somebody in the ranks. She goes on and on, but we kind of like, Zach's in a position where he has been attacked for his feelings and his beliefs and everything. So it's really hard to say something out loud and not worry about getting in trouble for it, the
last time I got in trouble, Susan, was actually when I came on to the Dr. Drew show and I shared that whole thing with the Titanic sub, that huge fake rescue mission when everyone had already died. And so I had this conspiracy that the Titanic was sunk with an explosion and sabotage. and that they don't want anybody going down there. And so it turned out that Titanic excursion, sort of like thing where they go down there and they check out what's going to happen with the Titanic, that was actually owned
People
by
in the submarine.
yeah, that whole operation
Went
was
down in the submarine.
yeah. What was it? It was Titus something or some sort of Titus sub. Very reminiscent of the Titanic. It turns out that the person that was one of the major stockholders happened to be Nathan Rothschild, right? So it just so happened that the people that were supposedly responsible for the Titanic sinking were also responsible for this operation, and that everyone sort of died in that whole thing. And I said, yeah, this has been planned, and that the reason why they're doing this is because they don't want anybody to go down to the Titanic, because if they do, they'll find out that the iceberg didn't punch in, that there's actually a hole that blew out. And what's really interesting is that Newsweek is now floating, they did about 4 years ago, where they were saying, hey, was there actually a secret coal fire that was burning undetected on the Titanic for 2 weeks before the iceberg hit? And, they're sort of seeding the narrative that maybe they could actually change the whole narrative that a iceberg punched through hardened steel. I mean, come on. Like, Joel can't take down 9/11, and an
It's
iceberg
interesting that you
can't.
say Rothschild, because I've heard, these rich people and all the conspiracies that come through, like the Rothschilds are always behind something. It's like what else are we gonna find? But Colby, do you have anything to say?
No, I don't. Nope. Nope.
All right, so I got a question. I got a question for Colby. Taylor Swift, is she actually, in fact, a psyop?
Do you even I am not even going there, because she's got so many Swiftie fans. Like, I will get taken out. Okay, I am way smarter than to answer that question. That's it. I'd rather face the FBI.
Oh man, what other
so
questions
funny
could we ask to destroy your career at this point?
Right. Let's go.
Well, you wanted to know the truth, whether or not the Haitians are eating the pets. We heard
yes.
about that.
Don't ask me these questions.
I don't know, but you did do a good psychic reading. I think that you really tapped into some of who you are, without reading about you. She doesn't do any research, and
he mentions code, but he's going to have a TV show. So when you do, you come back, instead of so-so, say, oh, superb. Okay.
And Colby, I'm going to have you on.
and yeah, you'll be the first. You'll be the first guest. Yeah. So. Anything else before I tell everybody who you are once again?
I've got one more question left, if you'll allow me to ask that.
Good.
We'll be all right. So I don't know if you follow artificial intelligence that much, but the question that I have is, has artificial general intelligence already been invented secretly in some big corporation's basement?
It definitely... the answer is yes, but can you repeat the question again?
Has artificial general intelligence already been secretly invented?
Yes. Yeah, it's already out. It's already there. I mean, I think the parts we're seeing it's so much more evolved and sophisticated, and there's a lot more behind it than I think we're being shown right now.
That's pretty accurate. That's what I read too as well.
Oh, you read that?
You read it?
Well, yeah, there's a secret account.
Or do you mean you feel it? Oh.
I've read certain suspicious accounts that no one knows what they are, but they keep on dropping all of these hints that turn out to come true. So there's some sort of insider. Yeah. One of the big drops was that AGI has already been invented. It just hasn't been disclosed to the public yet.
Yeah. Yeah. I also, I definitely, I feel like if people aren't asking more questions, or there aren't more, rules, I think it's going to be very, very, very dangerous. Like I kind of feel like it's going to be a weapon that's going to be used against people. So I think people should really be asking questions and making sure we kind of have the right rules around it. But again, who's making the rules, right? That's the thing you have to ask. Like who's controlling that scenario?
Have you ever read Dark Aeon?
No, what's it about?
It's oh God, what's the guy's name that we had on here for Zach for Dark Aeon? Kaleb. What is the guys that wrote? Gosh, I can't think.
I'm
of his
looking
name.
it up. Yeah, is it John? No, it's not John. I'll find it.
Joe Allen. Joe Allen wrote it, and it's basically about AI and how eventually the AI robots are going to become the actual leaders of the country, and we're going to be turned into basically socialist nothingness because we will never be able to work or use our brains or anything, and then the robots will end up controlling us and killing us basically if we don't do what they say. So it's just like a communist regime, but it's with robots and AI. So you have to read it. You know Joe Allen, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
But I was fascinated by his book, but I think what Colby's tapping into is that it can be weaponized. They in China, like they have these robots that do karate and they fight, and I feel like they could have like an entire army of these robots going out and fighting us in battle. If we ever go to battle, hand-to-hand battle. The Chinese don't want to be in hand-to-hand battle because they just would rather use their brains and screw up everything mentally for us. But they are developing these machines that will be able to fight, and you can't really win. If you shoot a bullet at a machine, it's not going to do you any good. So, but yeah, I think or whatever it is that you're talking about, like using this. I'm really fascinated by it. So, but that's the future, and as a psychic medium, Colby can see the future. She's got abilities that are different than me. And I just have lived a long time, and I've seen the technology that's happened in my lifetime. And I think I have no doubt that it could go even further and be destructive.
Well, since we're on this whole train of doom, I want to ask an even higher doom scrolling question, which is Earth and the solar system headed for some cosmic disaster in the near term? Let's say a couple decades out.
No. No, not that. No. Do I think it's headed for doom? Yes. In the next couple decades? No. But there's definitely there needs to be kind of a shift in things, because I just feel like there's a lot of self-destruction with some higher ups. So, there needs to be some reform. It's kind of, there just seems to be so much power, like of what we're being told and what we're being shown, and disregard for things. So I feel like, we definitely need to be more mindful and ask questions, and people be more aware to kind of have self-preservation. But in the next couple decades, I don't think so. It doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, it seems too soon for me too. But it could happen eventually.
Oh, it definitely could happen. Yes.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
So does this make you want to run out and have children, Zach?
I don't even know. My gosh, that's what. Like, if I want to have children, I want to make sure I get away from a country that wants to jab them, for them to be able to go to school. Like, I'm in California, right? And it's like you can't get your kid into school without like the 20 some odd CDC vaccines. My brother's vaccinating his 4-year-old now so that kid could go to school, and I was just like, make sure you space out the MMR vaccine. And he's just like,
I was surprised they didn't talk about that in the debate about what our kids' education is going to be like, and whether or not we're going to keep vaccinating them and making them
about
sick.
Nothing about education.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. What'd you guys think of that whole debate that happened the other day?
I didn't watch it.
She didn't watch it. I thought that Kamala was appealing to the average person who thinks that $50,000 is a lot of money to go towards a startup when you probably need a couple million. I think that she appealed to women and their feelings about having control over their bodies, and that's 50% of the nation. So that's a good ploy. She didn't say much else about the things that are important to me, but I am, I think that she didn't have a lot of substance in what she was saying about, world politics or, what we're dealing with in other nations. Like, there is a war out there and there is bloodshed going on. And, we were all very matter of fact about it. So that was my interpretation from a woman's point of view. But she also didn't talk about our kids. Like, she's a woman. You should think about kids. Like, that should be on your docket. Our future of our kids. And I found it an oxymoron. We want you to be able to get an abortion, but we're going to give you money for diapers and bassinets. Like, please have a baby. We'll give you some money, but you can also go abort it if you want to. Like, which one is it? Do you want us to have the baby or you don't want us to have the baby? Like, it was such a weird way to get women's attention. Like, you're going to buy baby clothes. Like, Kaleb, did you think, oh, great, I can't wait to get my $5,000 when I have my next child?
I thought, oh, it's a little late. I've already had 2 kids. If you were president 2 years ago, maybe, but now I'm not going to get nothing.
I know, but didn't you think it was weird? Like, she's like, we want you to be able to get an abortion, but we're going to also pay you to have kids. Like, I don't know. It was confusing to me.
Yeah, I mean, I also think that the country just needs to get over certain things, which is they're never going to take all of our guns. This is America. It's not going to happen. So they need to give it up. They're never going to take away abortion. The women won't allow it. So just give it up. Like, find different ways around it. Find other ways to reduce the amount of abortions and reduce the amount of gun violence. But you're not going to end those two. You're not going to take it away.
I mean, if it's a problem, like if it's incest or if it's, there's a lot of reasons. I'm pro-life, but I know that, like, if somebody was raped and they didn't want to have a baby, I get more power to them. That's what medicine's for. It's to help people I don't like that they're taking away the ability to do it, but let's figure out a way not to get pregnant in the first place.
And if they're going to be the party if they're going to say my body, my choice, that has to also count for vaccines as well. You can't be a hypocrite. I hate the hypocrisy.
Someone play crowd cheering sound. Right? There you go.
No, I watched the whole thing. I never watch these things. I'm apolitical. I hate this shit, but this one I watched because she would be the first woman president, and I do root her on for that. Why not? But I want substance. She was very Bill Clinton-esque. She talked in circles for a half an hour and didn't say anything. Bill Clinton has that ability. Like, he'll just go blah, 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 blah. And you're like, but he's so great to watch, but he didn't say anything. Like, who? And that was his MO. This was 30 years ago. And I was alive and watching it while I was pregnant with triplets. And I would just sit there and go, he didn't say anything. What is this? But she comes off like that to me. That's my interpretation. But I am not politically, like, I'm not partisan. I'm kind of a moderate, and I don't know what I'm going to but who I'm going.
Her voice is like nails on a chalkboard. That's the difference.
This is true. I don't know, Colby.
Nope. No, I'm ready for my readings.
She is going to read some fabulous people coming up and their fans. But honestly, I think that Colby has predicted that Trump's going to win, and more power to that. She was very sure. I don't know. She didn't seem as sure today, but I think.
No, I was sure.
Okay, good. And you heard it here first. So. And Zach is clearly, I want you to come back too, because if anything comes up where you want to check in with my psychic mediums on anything, I want to have you back right away. Good. Okay? And I know you're going to. And we appreciate you for opening up your heart and your soul to this process. Not many men like to do that.
That's not true.
Oh, well,
there's a lot of men who like to do it.
they're getting better. I mean, they're more into it now. When I started my show 10 years ago, it was a lot harder to find a man that wanted to do this. No, I mean, seriously, I think it's changed a lot.
Well, I think it's changed only because in the last decade, men have been given permission to be more emotional, to be more vulnerable. And that, I think, is the difference.
Okay. She's probably right because she keeps better track of this than I do. I don't do this every day for a living, but I do appreciate you coming on and taking the time. And also, we want to tell everybody to get his book, Google Leaks. It's a whistleblower's expose of big tech censorship, and it's on Amazon. And then you can follow him on X at Perpetual Maniac. He has a great X platform, and he is always there. He works 12, 14 hours a day, and he's always available for comments as long as they're nice.
And sometimes even if they're not. So, well, thank you very much.
He's yeah, and we hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
Right. Till
So
next
we're
time.
going to do a little shout out to our sponsor this week. I am very happy with this product. Oh no, I got to find it. The box is over there, Robin. I don't have it in front of me, but
Do you wanna do
anyways.
it- Susan, you want to do it after the ads?
No, I'm going to do it now. Anyway,
Okay.
So this is Capsidin. And as we age and stay active, we develop more pain in our muscles and joints. For me, it's pain in my hands and wrists from carpal tunnel syndrome and arthritis. And I rub it on my hands every day. I'd like to tell you more about it and how it's helped me. I've also found that it's great on mosquito bites. Capsidin is a pain-killing cream that rubs in easily, is not greasy, no odor, and it never burns. I highly recommend it. Many of my psychic friends also like it. Rebecca Fearing rubbed it on her knees in Europe while she was walking all over, and she said it worked.
Capsidin is made with a proprietary formula that contains no non-steroidal anti-inflammatory agents, no opioids, no anesthetic or steroid, nothing, no chance for addiction, no side effects, no chance it's going to interact with other medication you might be taking. Capsidin contains capsaicin, which is the substance in chili peppers that burns your tongue. That gives you that burny feeling. And of course, I've recommended capsaicin creams to patients over the years, but other capsaicin creams burn your skin. That's what makes Capsidin so unique. In clinical trials, Capsidin has actually been demonstrated not to burn.
And I actually got it in my eye by accident. After I rubbed it into my hands, I should have washed my fingertips. I got a little bit in my eye, and it didn't burn that much, honestly. It burned a little bit, but it did not burn. Like, I was like, oh, and then it just went away. So be careful not to get it into your eyes. You can get the pain relief you need from arthritis, backaches, sprains, bruises, and strains. Order now at capsidin.com/Drew to get a 15% discount plus free shipping and an additional 10% off if you use the word LIVE, live, because this is a live show at checkout. So you get 15% off and an additional 10% off. Give it a shot. That's capsidin.com/Drew, and that's spelled CAPSADYN.com/Drew. And also, I just want to mention that it's registered with the FDA and comes in the maximum strength allowed without a prescription. The makers of Capsidin offer a money-back guarantee if you're not completely satisfied. So keep that receipt, and you'll probably lose it anyways because it's good stuff. And I'm very happy about it. And I'm going to give Colby some before she leaves today.
Thank you.
So we're going to have a little word from our sponsors and be back with some callers.
Joint and muscle pains are exhausting and frustrating, but I've got a over-the-counter medication I'll introduce you to that provides great relief using the power of, check it out, chili peppers. Many of us have not gotten over COVID. I'm not talking about the virus itself, but the response. We were flabbergasted about what the government could do to us. There is no telling what they might pull next time, and it's looking more like there will be a next time. So we all have to be what I call rationally ready. That's where the wellness company comes in. TWC is about access to physicians via telehealth, access to potentially life-saving medication. Years ago, having access to medication and telehealth might have seemed crazy, but now it seems crazy not to. Now, with claims that gain-of-function research have been done on the bird flu, I urge everyone to take control of their healthcare with the help of the Wellness Company. Go to drdrew.com/TWC for 10% off all their products, including the 4 medical kits, each of which has a different purpose. And we've added Tamiflu to one of them in case the bird flu does become a problem for humans. Be rationally ready. drdrew.com/TWC for 10% off.
All right, we're back. I was just writing down to my Rumble fans, and I'm going to do it for YouTube and Twitter as well. Calling out at gmail.com is where you can send me an email, and I will get you on the show for a psychic reading during one of my shows.
Wait, are you
calling out at drdrew.com? Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Calling out at drdrew.com.
Yeah, it's not calling out at gmail.com. It's calling out at drdrew.com.
Yeah, you're right. I think I probably have Gmail too. Okay, but yeah, send it to calling out at drdrew.com and just say, hey, I want to talk to my so-and-so because it was a bad experience and I want to reconnect and get some, I call it psychic psychotherapy. So, when I recently lost a loved one and I went to my therapist and I was mourning, and I also went to a psychic and I was mourning, and I got to say I had more closure and happiness after the psychic reading because, I talked to him. It was great. So, that's sort of one reason you would actually go to a psychic medium. Otherwise, searching for answers is always a good way, things that are unexplained. But we're going to do this sort of channeling through a group. And it's just sort of an idea. I'm going to take 3 people that are on Zoom and see if Colby can connect to some loved ones. Do you need to see their faces on the screen at the same time? We're going to show the faces.
Okay.
And you can we're not going to give you names or anything, but these are 3 women who are fans, and thank you for reaching out to us at callingout@drdrew.com. And so I just thought maybe we could let you tap in and then see whose spirits are strongest. And if it ends up being me and Robin, I'm sorry, we're in the room. So, but we will let you know.
Spirit is non-discriminatory. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Good.
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Can you all hear me okay then?
Yes.
Okay, great. So just as I go along, I'm just going to kind of give some information. And if you can validate it, just give me the sound of your voice and say, I can take it. And if more than one of you can take it, don't worry. We're going to just figure out who this loved one belongs to. Okay? So I'm feeling a partner on the other side. This makes me feel like it may have been a romantic partner on the other side. So I feel like I am connecting to someone who has their loved one or their partner, their romantic spouse or partner on the other side. So can any of you connect to a partner that would be on the other side from you? On the other side for you, excuse me. Makes me feel like this is a male on the other side. And he gives me the sense where I definitely feel like he was very, like a great sense of humor. Like there's definitely a really good, warm personality, great sense of humor, very, very witty with this person. Also a very intelligent person. So can anyone take that? Even if it's an ex-partner or ex on the other side, can any of you take that? No? Use your voice, remember? I need the sound of your voice if you don't mind. So the lady in pink with the curly hair, you don't understand a male. I just want to, if you don't mind, you don't understand a male on the other side where we would have had a romantic connection. It doesn't have to be a current partner. I don't want to get you in trouble, but you don't understand. Okay. And you don't understand a male on the other side that would have been a romantic connection for you.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is, and he was never a romantic partner. It was, I was a foreign exchange student in France, and one of my host brothers died very young, and we had sort of a flirtation.
Okay. Do you understand him being very charismatic or just very witty with his sense of humor? Also he was smart. Would you understand that with him?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, because I just feel like he's coming. I really do feel like he's coming through for you. And I do feel like he's bringing me that flirtation or that feeling, because I also feel like it feels very free-spirited, or it just really feels like it was an amazing time, or it was like a lot of fun. Do you understand that?
Yeah, it was
And I just,
yeah.
like a world, like kind of, I feel like, listen, I can only tell you from his point of view, it was one of the greatest experiences of his life. So I know for him, it was something that he always sat with, like it stayed with him. He just really loved that. And he loved kind of the fun, I think the two of you had. And I really get the sense too where I don't feel like there was an opportunity for you to say goodbye. So you may have already been disconnected with him. There doesn't feel like there had been a communication in which you had an opportunity to kind of say goodbye to him. Do you understand that?
Yeah, he was killed in a car accident. When I was, like I said, I wasn't in France at that time. So
right, it doesn't make me feel like you were there. But I also get the sense with him where I just feel like when I ask him, like, okay, of all the people that could be on the other side for her, why would you, choose to step forward? And he just says, I feel like you are in a place of still challenging yourself. You like the new challenge. I feel like you're not done with career. And I feel like he's saying, you were passionate, you were hot, you were sexy, you were passionate. Don't forget that passion, like bring that passion back in and allow yourself to be that free spirit that I remember you as. And to just, again, remind you and let you know of you gave him some of the most amazing memories, and it was very, very special for him. So I just want to share that with you and leave that with you.
thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, so do you have any questions for Colby?
Can I, the lady?
Unless you want to just keep going. Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
I'm just going to keep going. The lady, I can't tell. I don't have glasses on, so it's really hard. Your hair's a little shorter, I think, and it's a green. I think that might be green.
She's bottom right.
Yeah. Well, we're looking at it, but she's not going to say, I'm bottom right. That's me. Do you mind? Can we bring her in closer? Is that okay, Kaleb? Like, let me just see her. Yeah. Thank you. Can I get your first name? Do you mind?
Kim.
Kim. Hi, Kim. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
And what were you going to ask? Can I what? Or can we what? Did she say anything?
I don't know if you can hear me very well because my mic doesn't seem to be working well.
It's working. We can hear you.
I can hear you a little bit. Yeah, I can hear you a little bit. The one thing, Kim, I kind of want to go in, just if you don't mind, I want to kind of tap into work for you for some reason. I just feel like there's something around career or an interest where I feel like you're doing something where I think people really rely on you, and you have to be kind of the safe one for people or the reliable one. Do you understand that? Do you just tend to solve problems for people, or can I ask what you do?
Not really. I work from home. I assist my husband with his business, but I'm not in a career sense.
Okay. Do you I don't know. There's just something where you are the support system. So I feel like either people are coming to you, or they're bouncing ideas, or they're coming to you for just advice. I don't know. There's just something around that. So if it's not business, it must be like your business with him or family. That's just the feeling I get. And would dad be on the other side for you, Kim? Would you understand a male on the other side that would be like a father for you?
Male, not father, no.
Okay. Would you understand the male to be either like a protective energy or like a father energy for you?
No.
Let me go to the other lady. Let's just see if one of the other ladies can take that.
This might be,
So can I see all three of them? Kaleb? Thank you. And who was saying this might be?
When you were talking about career, because that was sort of what I was asking about, and my job was very much something that I was kind of support for everybody. And I'm really in transition now and really stuck. So, and then the other side wouldn't be a father, but it would be my grandfather.
Got it. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, I'm one off. There we go. Thank you so much. And what's your first name, honey?
Ashley.
Oh, hi, Ashley. So, Ashley,
Hi.
I want to go with the work first. Thank you for speaking up, too. I really appreciate it because I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy.
No, I know this
I
happens.
mean, I might be crazy, but
got three
I'm
at
usually on
once.
point. Ashley, there is something about career because I do feel like you are entering like the new chapter of your life. And it definitely gives me the feeling where it's about you having more boundaries moving into this next chapter and not so much kind of using all that energy for other people, because it does feel like energetically that's just been a little draining, and it feels like you're now at a point where I think for you, this is more about projects that excite you. So I'm even feeling some creativity around it. So I'm not sure if you've been looking into art or writing, but I just keep feeling like a sense of creativity and a sense of you having your own thing as well. So it definitely feels a level of independence around it. And I keep hearing to trust yourself with it because, again, I think the biggest hiccup is, being afraid to kind of go pull that trigger, be afraid to kind of say, yeah, this is what I'm doing and to commit to it. But I really feel like if you do, you feels like you are going to do very, very well. And it also feels like it grows by word of mouth. So it feels like there's going to be a nice like infectiousness around it by word of mouth. And this male on the other side, he just comes through very supportive of you, very strong for you. And this is a person I think was very logical. So I feel like he's very practical. He's very logical. So he's not going to just say something if he doesn't believe in it. He's not going to just say something if he doesn't feel that conviction. And he just gives me the feeling of really kind of being that cheerleader for you and saying, you know what? You can do this. Like, I want you to realize like you are amazing. And it's like, sometimes you don't give yourself enough credit. And I feel like it's like, now it's time to kind of take that credit and have that confidence to do it. So does that make sense for you, Ashley?
Yeah. I just don't know what the thing is, but all of that makes sense.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I definitely feel like if we look at the thing, it definitely feels like a sense of, like I said, a creative aspect to it. I'm just curious, have you ever thought about writing? It gives me the feeling of like writing and coaching and helping other people.
Yeah, that's all. There's a lot of that in my world. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Because I feel like it's just owning that part of it. And again, there may be some coaching aspect to this. So finding an angle of like, hey, I'm now, and it actually feels like maybe coaching women, because I'm now going to kind of take this and I'm going to put it into this package and I'm going to help others with this coaching. And it just feels like there's a program behind it. Feels like there's a book behind it. It's just a matter of you kind of, but taking that time to do it. It does feel like you've been enjoying maybe a little bit of some rest. And I keep feeling like, okay, it's now we're regrouped. It's time to kind of like, let's do it. So that's kind of what I'm getting around it.
Yeah, it's exactly spot on. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Oh, good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Not that I have any doubt.
Yeah, you're out. And just know that this male, this father figure for you, definitely, yeah. I mean, I like this guy. He's not a BSer, right? Like, so I think the fact that he's by you and the fact that he is saying, hey, believe in yourself, I think that says a lot about him because, I think, he just gives me the feeling of adoring you, like just adoring you. And I do feel like he loved kind of taking care of you as a little girl. So just know that he is around you and he's with you, okay?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, God bless.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. I'd like you to go back to Kim.
Okay. All right.
I mean, no offense to the other one, but she is. I think she needs some closure or information on something.
Okay.
Show her face. She's
Sorry,
in
I
agreement.
have a younger male on the other side, but Kim, would you understand a younger male on the other side? Or otherwise, I'm going to ask you who you want to connect with.
No, he's not younger. He was older than me. His older brother.
I was going to say brother. I was going to say brother, Kim.
Well, younger meaning not your parent. That's sort of
that.
the
Thank you. In
idea.
my world, it means not. He didn't reach.
Not your dad.
No, but he didn't reach. But would you? The thing about him, his passing feels very sudden. Would that make sense, Kim?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and I also feel like. He gives me the sense where, like, I can only give you what I'm getting. Like, he makes me feel like he came across confident or he came across happy. He just makes me feel like he could lift people up and make it look like there's not a care in the world. Do you understand that?
Yes.
But would you understand, I don't know, underneath though, that maybe he didn't always share how he was feeling? Do you understand that? Like, to me, I see this layer of wanting to make everything look good on the outside, but maybe inside things are a little bit more of a struggle than I want to let people know. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you understand a connection where if it's a no, give me a no, but do you understand a connection where he may be responsible for his passing? Would that connect for you?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay, because it gives me the sense where I feel like, I don't know, the thing I get around him is I feel like he just comes across as like so put together. I don't know. That's like he really comes across as like really put together, really articulate, like was able to speak well. And I feel like, again, making things look really great. But I think, again, behind the scenes, maybe there's some relationships that aren't as strong, and I feel like some worries that he was experiencing. And I feel like it was creating a lot of anxiety for him, and just creating a sense of just a feeling of I'm just going to say it, and like I'm not sure how to get out of this. Like I'm not sure how to maneuver through this. Like that's the sense I kind of get from him. But I also feel like he gives me like not wanting to have people worry about him. Like he's like, look, I feel amazing. I feel free. I mean, and I think that's something for him that he gets to kind of be wild and crazy. Like I feel like he feels free, and he feels just a sense of not wanting. Again, it's interesting that I come back to this. So not wanting you to take on any responsibility. And so maybe that's even where I was getting a little bit before, of taking care of others or supporting others. And maybe it is just through this experiencing this loss, but he gives me the sense of loving you. Like he loves you so much. And I do, like, I feel like, don't be upset with him that he couldn't always share things with you. Like, I feel like he felt wanting to protect you and to just know that was his way of loving you. That was his way of wanting to let you know that, he does love you. He's very protective of you. And even on the other side, I can feel him being very protective of you. And it's just interesting. Are there questions? I'm just curious. Just give me a no if it's a no. Are there questions around another person with his passing, or does that not resonate for you?
Yes.
He gives me the feeling that there's somebody else. Okay. He gives me the feeling like there's somebody else involved with this passing or this transition. Like it's not just me is the feeling I'm getting around it. And to trust that, like, I feel like you guys have a spidey sense of, and it's like this talk that we almost can't prove, but I feel like he's saying, I want you to trust your intuition around this. Just because even if things were not great, I don't think this is someone who would take his life. Like, I don't feel like he took his life, but I do feel like there's some level of responsibility he's sharing, but it makes me feel like there's this other person involved. So is there anything you want to ask or what you want to share around what you do know?
Well, yeah, there's questions about his wife and the fact that she didn't even want to tell me or our mother that he had passed, and she decided to call my husband first. And the story she gave us doesn't seem to match the circumstances from what we can sort of preen from other information. And she was not very forthcoming about a lot of stuff. She wouldn't even tell us what hospital they brought him to and he supposedly passed at. And so it was just a really strange situation that my mother and I go over scenarios in our head and we just can't quite put it together, you know?
Yeah. I just feel like, and am I correct that they did not do an autopsy, or do you not know?
I don't think so. They actually did a organ donation.
Got it. Okay. Because I'm just getting the sense where, yeah, I mean, I don't want to wag fingers, so I'm not accusing anyone, but I just feel like the delay in getting you guys aware was so that so that they could think of a story. It just makes me feel like, what's the story? Like, what story do I need to tell? And then, unfortunately, like, if you know, and not everyone can remember all the details, but it's almost like this story changed with who she was telling it to. So it's almost like she told it one way and then it kind of evolved and evolved. But one thing I got was, maybe that's why the organ transfer happened so quickly, just because I feel like it was as quickly as we could kind of destroy the proof. That's kind of what feels like the motivation.
Mm.
But can you just give Mom a big hug, like he's okay, and it's knowing that he's okay.
She needs that,
and just that. I'm just curious, Kim, is Mom of faith? Would she be a woman of faith? Can I ask?
somewhat.
Only because I feel like it's like this idea of like, Mom, don't worry. I'm in heaven. Like that's kind of I'm in heaven, Mom. I don't want you to worry about me. Like that kind of feeling around it. So I felt like maybe she was a woman of faith, but he's just saying that he, I know it's heartbreaking for her, but not to worry, that he doesn't want her to worry.
Yeah, she was even kept out of the celebration of life by their actions, and it was really, really traumatic.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot. The thing is that, yeah, I mean, it's only because I think Mom, I think they knew, I think she was worried that Mom would know. Like Mom was always either a little suspicious of this relationship, or like her spidey sense was on, and I think that had a lot. They didn't want her asking questions, and I think that that's why, because she would have asked. Your mom's not a quiet one, so I think she would have asked questions, and I feel like that's why she was kept out of it.
I agree. Yeah.
But I am sorry, but just know that he is okay. All right.
Thank you.
Do you mind if I get your brother's name?
Mike.
Mike. Okay. I just feel like it's knowing that his warmth, his affection, he feels very close to you guys, even if she was trying to pull him away. And just know that, he was always wanting to do more with you than he was allowed to. He was wanting to call more than he was able to, but just know that he was always thinking of you all the time, and just letting you guys know that his love is forever there, and that he will be there to hug you both when it's your turn to transition.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Very sorry for your loss.
Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, it is difficult, especially under the circumstances, and it's so unfortunate because I feel like I wish more could be done, but I don't feel like they're going to be able to. That's the unfortunate part. I'm sorry about that. But he just says, tell mom not to worry, because there's always justice, even if it's beyond this world.
I hope so.
Okay? Yes. Yeah, so I'll leave that with you, okay?
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
So, can you connect with our last person? And
We have one more coming in?
just you had a brief moment with, I think it's Melanie, and I think she had a question for you.
Is that our pink lady?
Yes.
Our beautiful lady in pink? Yes. Melanie, what is it? What can I do for you, sweetheart?
Oh my gosh, so many questions. I guess listening to Kim's story, I would love to connect with a sister who's passed if she feels like coming through.
Yeah. Okay. May I get her first name?
Katie.
Oh my God, look. You see it?
She had written down Katie.
I wrote down Katie. When I asked you, can you zoom in? I don't know, Kayla, I guess we can't. I wrote down Katie, I swear. We'll take a picture of it and I'll show you.
Yeah, she had already written it and circled it.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I wrote it down and then I said to you, what's the name?
Okay, she's here.
Well, yeah, of course she wants to say hi. The thing with Katie, I just feel like definitely like a lot of life. Like I feel like it's a lady that was full of fun or full of life. Does that make sense around her?
I mean, yes, and like she had gotten more.
Okay, just say yes. We'll leave it there.
Yes.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I get the feeling where I'm just kind of, would she have been in a relationship or something feeling kind of controlling? Do you understand that or no? Almost like I feel like she gives me the sense of not having air. So I'm not sure if that's connected to her passing or... Okay, so you can understand it in that way. Okay. I also get the feeling where her passing also feels quick as well. Would you understand that connected to the passing? Quick or unexpected? Do you understand that? But there also is a sense where, for whatever reason, I feel like she was losing her freedom to make choices. So I will say that there's something around it where I feel like she wasn't able to kind of make choices or have free will. Do you understand that? Like somebody else is doing it. Does that resonate for you?
Yes.
Okay. And I feel like, again, which is so interesting, it just feels like this other person, I also feel like is connected to the passing. Like I feel like either the pressure of it or there's something around it that I feel like she just feels there wasn't an out. I don't, I'm just kind of, is that okay to say that? Do you understand that with her?
But it was, yeah.
Like there wasn't an out. And I also, the thing she gives me is I just feel like, yeah, it's so weird. There's no connection to a cult by chance, or the idea of a cult, or the idea of
I mean, if you consider the Christian religion a cult, yes.
Oh, so you get it. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, sorry, but I do feel like it became so controlling, and it became so, her everyday decision making really wasn't hers. It's almost like she got so dependent on somebody telling her what she could do, what she couldn't do. So that's the feeling I get around it. Okay, and a lot of there's either judgment or punishment too. So there's, it was very, to me, I think it really started to, I can kind of feel inside of her, like this little voice inside of her trying to remember who she was and, be able to kind of speak up. But then she just had a lot of fear around this. So I just feel like she wasn't able to. And she feels a little closed off to me. Like, I feel like we're trying to get through and we can't get through, But I do know, let me just tell you, on the other side, she shows me just dancing and being free and being the biggest, happy, and her face is relaxed and she looks healthy. Like, she really shows me just wanting to say to you, I am playing like we were kids again. And I want you to know that that's who I am. And I am free from what I thought was the way. And I do want to say, prior to her passing, I feel like she was, I can feel the thoughts deep inside of, I want to be free, and I can see the outside where I can't be free. So it is this interesting dynamic that on the other side, she is so happy and so free, and to let you know that, that she loves you and that she thanks you. Like, I feel like you constantly are talking to her. You're constantly sending out thoughts to her, and she wants you to know that she can hear them. She can see you, and she is around you. Okay. So I will leave that with you. Yeah. I will leave that with you, honey. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad that you connected.
She sends her hummingbirds.
Hummingbirds. Yes. Mm-hmm. I love hummingbirds. So yeah, that was awesome.
Well, we should have heard what she had to say about her sister.
Yeah,
though.
maybe we should get a follow up
real quick. Tell us a little bit about your sister or the circumstances around her passing,
if you don't mind.
Yeah, she was diagnosed with colon cancer. I mean, she's 36, diagnosed with colon cancer at the end of August of 2022, and then passed in January of 2023.
Wow.
It was very fast. And there was just a lot of, it's very challenging to lose someone to something like that as it is, but there was a lot going on just with the dynamics around it that made it a lot harder.
Yeah. You understand the feeling of being controlled? Is that by the religion or? Okay.
Were they not letting her get medical care?
Family.
Yeah, it felt like
family.
Yeah.
Scratching my head.
Mm-hmm. No, it definitely felt like there was some controlling aspect and some keeping her from other family. That's just kind of the sense I was getting, though.
Yeah, and it was just, I left. I went home for 8 months to be close while this was happening, and we didn't know what was her decisions and what were decisions influenced by this other family member, and it was very confusing and heartbreaking, and has ramifications now because she had kids, and
the medical system's daunting enough without people in the middle of it not communicating.
I feel like she did want people around. She did want to see people. So I'm not really feeling that kind of closed offness was coming from her.
Thank you.
Because she gives me a lot of love for you. Okay?
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry for your loss. That's just awful. Yeah. It's just like, colon cancer goes fast. It can go fast. Drew's sitting here. Colon cancer can go fast, right? If you catch it, if it's too late, you catch it too late.
They don't
But
even, they're not even
36 is-
looking at people. I mean, 36, they're not even checking.
Yeah, you don't
at
get a
that point.
colon screening until you're in your 40s or 50s. Yeah, that's right. And that's the interesting thing. But, it does happen. And it's sometimes the medical system doesn't do its job. So I hope that, the rest of your family gets screened and that you make sure that your health is, get screened early, because obviously it could be hereditary as well. So that would be my input as a doctor's wife. I'm not a doctor, but I play his wife on TV. So I want to give you what I would say if I was your mother. But yeah. So, and any other questions really quick before we head off into the sunset today?
Can I ask you a future question? Do you do future questions?
Sure.
Baby. Do you see a baby in my future?
I do. I feel like there is, yes, but it's I don't know. There feels to be a little bit of a challenge, so I'm just trying to kind of lean into what that challenge is. I'm almost feeling like maybe it's a commitment thing, like we got to do this now and not the planning. But I do feel like the answer to that is yes. So I will say that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, you know what? I think, aren't you a doula? Don't you deliver babies all day too? Is that what you do?
I mostly do postpartum, but yeah, I also do birth as well.
Oh, postpartum. So what is that? What does that mean? You do postpartum?
So families hire me for generally 6 to 8 weeks after the birth,
and you watch the children. You help with.
So doulas are like more, I always refer to them as like being more holistic than like an NCS, which is a newborn care specialist who just comes in for the baby. We're there for the whole family. Obviously, we're spending a lot of time with baby overnight, but we're there to, do laundry, do some dishes. I always refer to myself as like a hired family member without all the drama.
Wow, I didn't know
Good.
doulas did that. I thought doulas only helped with birth. Or I totally would have gotten a doula from my wife
me
after our
too.
kid was born. That would have been perfect.
No, postpartum doulas are fantastic.
Oh, that would have been perfect.
I would have paid for it, Caleb. You know that.
You even offered. Oh yeah, that sounds. Oh, well, I'll remember that for the next
It was
one.
like, you're having a baby. I need you to just keep working, and you need a house. I got him a housekeeper. But
That was worth it.
There are death doulas also, just for the record.
Are there really?
Yeah, so death doulas help those transition as well.
Oh. Okay. It's a great word, doula.
It
sounds
is.
so good. It sounds so professional and nice.
Sounds loving.
If you need a doula, you can reach out to this woman and find her at. I feel like reading your bio, but thank you for calling out with Susan Pinsky, and we're going to give Colby a break now because she's worked for an hour and a half, and
Thank you
I don't
so
want to
much.
burn her out. She won't come back. But thank
you
you,
so much.
everybody on the panel, and I hope that these words of wisdom helped you with your closure and your loved ones. I find it refreshing. It makes me feel better. And you'll have the video. You can show your mom or your brother or whatever, and sisters, and show them what happened, what transpired here. So, and thank you for being a fan of the show. I really appreciate it. And I want to tell everybody where to find Colby as well. Colby, tell us where they can find you.
Oh, thank you. Hey, everyone. You can find me on colbyrebel.com or on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook at Colby Rebel Medium.
And I want to thank Robin for helping me produce this show, and Kaleb Nation. We're going to do a little...
I
She's
cut
not
over
in
and
her
that's not
seat. She's
Robin. That's true.
Yeah, wait, let's show Robin. She's still single, everybody. So just so you know. Okay, cut back to Robin.
There's Robin.
There she is. Yeah. She's still looking for a man. Her mom didn't show up today, so we're you know, hopefully.
It's good. There's more important spirits today.
Yeah, that was
solving unsolved deaths
was
so
good.
interesting.
Katie, and it's interesting how you do this. It just blows my mind. Anyways, I just want to give a shout out on the way out to one of our sponsors because since Drew's my teleprompter guy today, Drew, there's nothing like starting your morning with caffeine and protein. That's my favorite. At least that's how I see it, which is why every day begins with coffee and Paleo Valley's grass-fed finished chocolate bone broth. And I'm not kidding. I drink it every day. It's good for my hair because my hair was falling out and it's doing much better now. It's delicious, high in collagen, low in calories, and just 80 per scoop. Okay, the chocolate is amazing. That is 80, and I think the unflavored bone broth is a little bit less if you want to mix it in your soups. It's made from bones, not hides, and grass finished means the cattle are grass fed in their entire lives. Paleo Valley's bone broth helps in the battle against sarcopenia, which is the loss of muscle mass as we get older, which I'm trying to build back every day. And it's an integral part of my weight bearing workout regimen with V-Shred, by the way. And remember, it comes in plain and vanilla too. Make it a part of yours today at drdrew.com/paleovalley for 15% off your first order, or subscribe and save 20% because you'll need a new bag every month or so you don't run out. You know, I do that with my coffee too. I have like 10,000 cans of coffee that come to the door. Anyways, that's drdrew.paleovalley, and they have a great coffee there too as well. It's drdrew.com/Paleo Valley. So get it today, everybody, and support the show and get the capsid in and rub it on your joints and your mosquito bites and also TWC, another great sponsor. We have all our sponsors available at drdrew.com/sponsors, and you can just find the links and the coupon codes there as well. So if you get mixed up and you can't remember where to go, just go to drdrew.com/sponsors, because Kaleb, who I love, has put everything there on the website together so easily to find. And you can also find Colby at colbyrebel.com. Thank you. I'm just giving you a little plug on the way out.
Thanks.
So thank you again, and we have some great shows coming up. It's October. I have some things in mind, some great ideas for the upcoming podcasts, but if I tell you, I'm going to have to kill you because they're secret. We can't tell you in advance, but check us out 3 p.m. on Thursdays or at 12 noon if we have to change the time. And also be sure to tune in to Ask Dr. Drew every day, 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday typically, and we have some great shows coming up there too. So anyways, ta-ta.
I'm excited to bring you a new product, a new supplement, Fatty. I take it. I make Susan take it. My whole family takes it. This comes out of, believe it or not, dolphin research. The Navy maintains a fleet of dolphins, and a brilliant veterinarian recognized that these dolphins sometimes developed a syndrome identical to our Alzheimer's disease. Those dolphins were deficient in a particular fatty acid. She replaced the fatty acid, and they didn't get the Alzheimer's. Humans have the same issue. And we are more deficient in this particular fatty acid than ever before. And a simple replacement of this fatty acid called C15 will help us prevent these syndromes. It's published in a recent journal called Metabolites. It's a new nutritional C15, pentadecanoic acid, it's called. The deficiency that we are developing for C15 creates something called the cellular fragility syndrome. This is the first nutritional deficiency syndrome to be discovered in 75 years and may be affecting us in many ways, and as many as 1 in 3 of us. This is an important breakthrough. Take advantage of it. Go to fatty15.com/Dr. Drew to receive 15% off a 90-day starter kit subscription, or use code Dr. Drew at checkout for that 15% off, or just go to our website, drdrew.com/fatty15.